Hello, baking enthusiasts! Today, we're embarking on a delightful adventure to bake a truly scrumptious cake. Get your aprons ready, and let's transform simple ingredients into a masterpiece. Baking a cake is like creating something magical. It's about mixing, baking, and decorating with love. Whether you're a seasoned baker or just starting, this guide will make baking a piece of cake. So, are you excited? Let's gather our ingredients and step into the wonderful world of baking. Before we begin, let's gather our baking buddies, the ingredients that will transform into a delicious cake. For this recipe, you will need flour, sugar, eggs, butter, milk, baking powder, vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. Remember, the quality of your ingredients directly affects the taste of your cake. Now that we have everything, let's move on to the next step. Before we start mixing, we need to prepare. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. This ensures the cake bakes evenly. Grease and flour your baking pan. This will prevent your cake from sticking and ensure a clean release. I like to use butter for greasing. It adds a lovely flavor. Now that our oven is preheating and our pan is ready, let's start making our cake batter. In a large bowl, cream together the softened butter and sugar until light and fluffy. This step is crucial as it sets the foundation for the texture of your cake. The butter should be at room temperature to ensure it blends smoothly with the sugar, creating a creamy mixture. Take your time with this process, as the creaming method is what incorporates air into the batter, giving your cake its light and airy structure. This creates air pockets in the batter, making the cake tender. The air pockets are essential because they expand during baking, helping the cake rise and achieve a soft, delicate crumb. Notice how the batter becomes pale and fluffy as you mix. This is a good sign that enough air has been incorporated. Add the eggs one at a time, mixing well after each addition. Eggs provide structure and moisture to the cake. Make sure each egg is fully incorporated before adding the next to maintain a smooth and consistent batter. This gradual addition helps to emulsify the mixture, ensuring a uniform texture. Each ingredient plays a crucial role, so don't rush the process. Baking is a science, and precision is key. Pay attention to the consistency of your batter at each stage. The careful mixing of ingredients ensures that the cake will bake evenly and have a balanced flavor. Now, gently fold in the dry ingredients: flour, baking powder, and salt. These dry ingredients are responsible for the cake's structure and leavening. Sift them together to remove any lumps and to evenly distribute the baking powder and salt throughout the flour, alternating with the milk, beginning and ending with the dry ingredients. This method helps to maintain the airiness of the batter. Adding the dry ingredients in portions prevents the batter from becoming too dense, while the milk adds moisture and richness. Mix until just combined. Overmixing can make the cake tough. Overmixing develops the gluten in the flour, which can result in a dense and chewy texture. Be gentle and patient, folding the ingredients together until you no longer see streaks of flour. The goal is a smooth, cohesive batter that will bake into a tender, flavorful cake. Section 5. Baking time. The sweet smell of success. Baking a cake is an art that combines precision, patience, and a touch of creativity. Today, we are going to walk you through the steps to achieve that perfect cake, starting with the batter. Pour the batter into the prepared pan and spread it evenly. Make sure to use a spatula to get every last bit of batter into the pan. This ensures that your cake will rise evenly and have a consistent texture throughout. Gently tap the pan on the counter to release any large air bubbles. This step is crucial as it helps to avoid any large holes in your cake, giving it a smooth and even crumb. Place the pan in the preheated oven and bake for 30 to 35 minutes. It's important to set a timer and avoid opening the oven door frequently, as this can cause the cake to sink in the middle. Remember, oven temperatures can vary, so it's essential to check the cake's doneness using a toothpick. Insert it into the center of the cake. If it comes out clean or with just a few crumbs, your cake is ready. If not, give it a few more minutes and check again. While the cake bakes, let's move on to preparing the frosting. A good frosting can elevate your cake from good to great. Start by gathering all your ingredients, making sure they are at room temperature for the best consistency. After all, what's a cake without a delicious frosting? Spread the frosting evenly over the cooled cake, using a spatula to create smooth, even layers. You can get creative with your frosting techniques, adding swirls or patterns to give your cake a professional finish. Enjoy the sweet smell of success as you take a bite of your perfectly baked and frosted cake. Section 6. The toothpick test. Knowing when it's done. This is a crucial step in baking, ensuring that your cake is perfectly baked and not undercooked or overcooked. After 30 minutes, it's time to check if our cake is baked to perfection. The aroma of a freshly baked cake fills the kitchen, signaling that it might be ready. But how do we know for sure? Insert a toothpick into the center of the cake. This is the most reliable method to check for doneness. The center is the last part to cook, so it's the best place to test. If it comes out clean, the cake is done. A clean toothpick means that the batter has fully set, and there's no raw mixture left inside. If there's batter on the toothpick, bake for a few more minutes and check again. Patience is key here. It's better to check multiple times than to end up with an undercooked cake. Once the cake is done, take it out of the oven and let it cool in the pan for 10 minutes before inverting it onto a wire rack to cool completely. This cooling period allows the cake to firm up, making it easier to handle and ensuring it doesn't break apart. Cooling on a wire rack helps air circulate around the cake, preventing it from becoming soggy. Enjoy your perfectly baked cake. Section 7. Cooling down. Patience is key. While it might be tempting to frost the cake immediately, patience is key. A hot cake is more prone to crumbling, so let it cool completely before frosting. Cooling allows the cake to firm up and the flavors to settle. This will make the frosting process much smoother and more enjoyable. While our cake is cooling, let's whip up some frosting. Section 8. Decorating time. Unleash your inner artist. Now comes the fun part, decorating. Once the cake is completely cool, frost it with your favorite frosting. You can use buttercream, cream cheese frosting, or even a simple glaze. Get creative with sprinkles, fruits, or chocolate shavings. Let your imagination run wild. Decorating is a chance to personalize your cake and make it extra special. Remember, there are no rules in cake decorating. Have fun and enjoy the process. Section 9. Common baking blunders and how to fix them. Even experienced bakers make mistakes. One common mistake is not measuring ingredients accurately. Always use measuring cups and spoons for precise measurements. Another blunder is overmixing the batter. Overmixing develops gluten, which can make the cake tough. Mix until just combined. If your cake sinks in the middle, it could be due to opening the oven door too frequently during baking. Resist the urge to peek. Section 10. On your marks, get set, bake. Congratulations, you've reached the end of our baking adventure. I hope you feel confident to bake your own delicious cake. Remember, baking is all about having fun and enjoying the process. Don't be afraid to experiment and add your personal touch. Share your baking creations with loved ones and spread the joy of homemade treats. Happy baking!